What's happening, guys? So, this is why you should have the notification on. You never know when I'm going to just go off the cuff. This is TRHS Sports. This has nothing to do with reality TV. This is just me coming on here and talking about the Sunday slate, particularly who I like in the Sunday slate. Several people, so you can put it all together in your own mind. Just going with it like that. So, if right now uh, I've won because I put to side. I'm a businessman, and I've always have been, and I put to the side what I win. Right now, I think I have right around 22,000 so far, and that's profit because I also, I bet. So far, this this football season, 5 games in, I've won $22,000. Uh, if I get to 25,000, that's all. That's my number. I'm heading to Vegas for 2 weeks, and I'm going to start having random patrons of mine come stay with me for free in the room, a couple of days or so. We'll have a big old suite with the 2 bedrooms, and I don't know, may have a kitchen. I don't know. But if I win, I'm going to go ahead and go down there to get some footage and to start gambling more. So my number is 25,000. I'm at 22,000 right now. I get to 25,000. I'm heading to Vegas. If you're a part of this family, then you can, put in your time that, hey, I like to come out there with you, hang out for a couple of days. I'll be there for 2 weeks. I'm serious about my Patreon page and the TRHS Sports. I want it to grow. Everybody involved in this page as well. You're welcome to come. We have a good time and we gamble. So the best time to come is probably the weekend. I'd pay for the room. You just get there. So anyway, let's talk about the Sunday slate, the games I like, the people I like. I'm going to go ahead and kind of go off the rails. I'm not going to start with quarterbacks. And I'm going to start with, if you've been following this, I really like Kendrick Bourne. I even tweeted to him. He didn't tweet back. Don't know why he didn't do that. Why wouldn't he do that? It's Russell Hance. But I like him because everybody's not playing. I think that's going to be a high scoring game. He's 3,500. Now, people are like, oh, Kendrick Bourne. You don't think like that, guys. Don't think, oh, it's Kendrick Bourne. He's not going to get any points. If he gets 12 points, you're good. $3,500. That's what he is. Playing Seattle, the worst defense in the NFL. If he just gets that, he's good. So I really like Kendrick Bourne, and everybody's hurt. You can't tell me he's not going to get 5 catches for 60 yards. I think that's going to happen. So I really like him. I'm going to talk about the people that I really like this week. I seen a thing released on ESPN or, one of these fantasy things that they had the top 5 tight ends, and number 1 was Kelsey. I wouldn't play Kelsey for a second because they're going to be ahead so much they don't need Kelsey. You don't need Kelsey. Yes, he could go off. It's Kelsey. But, let's think game theory. Do you really need Kelsey? You don't need Kelsey. I have a comment right here. Man, first of all, I like Fournette and Bell this week. I love in this game. This is the game we're talking about now. They had Kelsey at number 1, Kittle at number 2, and that makes sense because they don't have anything. Kittle could be a superstar this week. Not saying that he won't be, but he was number 2, and I can easily see that happening. So, yes, you can play him, but you're paying up. Let's see. So Kelsey was number one, but in DraftKings, Kittle was number one, which makes sense. On this poll, they had Kittle number two. He's number one on DraftKings. They had Waller. Waller could be a smash hit. He's 5,600. You start paying. You have to look for a tight end. If I'm going to pay for a tight end, I would pay for Waller instead of Kittle. Kittle is 7,000. I don't put Kelsey in the mix at all because Kelsey is. I think that they're just going to be win. If Kelsey was playing Seattle, I'd be like, hell yes, Kelsey. But they're not going to have any problems. I think that Bell is going to get his opportunities because that's his former team, and I think he is going to go crazy. I think Bell's going to get 100 yards and rush for 100 yards and a touchdown. If that happens, he's 4,800? Bell's is better than Clyde. I don't care what you guys say. He's better. He's not he's getting older, yes, but he's not that old. It's not at that stage yet for Bell. And people are like throwing him in the garbage because of Clyde. Like, man, Bell, he can rush. His upside is 40 points. We know that. We've seen that happen. So let me put my lineup back in here. Okay, but tight ends, for the tight end, I really like Graham this week. I think that the Saints, I think Montgomery is projected to get like 16 points. That's not going to happen. The Saints can stop the run, stay away from Montgomery, and they're going to stop the run, and they're going to pass the ball, and the Saints can. They have. You know who I'm talking about. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. He's one of my best corners. But anyway, I think Robertson is out. I think Graham is a really good play. Do the Kansas City. You know who I think's a sneaky play? If you're betting, y'all going to think I'm crazy with this one. I don't even know what the spread is. But I think that Cincinnati is beating Tennessee straight up. What's the spread? Probably over 7. Can someone look and let me know real quick? I think they're beating Tennessee. I do. I think they're about to get things together. I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to beat Tennessee. And when you think like that, then I have to start thinking game theory because everyone thinks of their own style, right? Let's say that's why sometimes I like to get Willie involved, and I say, Willie, look, I'm gonna put $1,000 lineup, and then you do your side. I do. Everyone's brain thinks differently when it's like, oh, I think this team is going to go crazy. I think this team is going to go crazy. For me, I think it's the Green Bay Minnesota game. So when you think that, you have to start thinking game theory. Okay, what's game theory? It's when you think logically with common sense, but you have to deeply think. You don't just think, oh, I want this wide receiver and this running back because it's popular. For instance, me putting Bell in is game theory. I'm putting Bell in a $400 lineup. $400 lineup, single entry. I have Bell in that lineup. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I think that Bell he's gonna get his shots. Last week he had one less carry than Clyde. One. This week he's playing his former team that dropped him. That the coach says, why would you drop someone like that with that kind of potential? Like the coaches were talking about it. I think because of that, the coaches, they put their 2 cents in. And because of that, I think they're going to run them. Goal lines. Bell's going to get it. Clyde can't run between the tackles, guys. It was first and 1, like 3 different times in one game. Stopped them. big ass holes. That's what happens with Clyde. Kansas City, they and he can break some tackles. He's a great running back, but he's little. So when's the last time we seen a super little guy like that? You know, he breaks tackles, but he's not Barry Sanders. So because my mind is going in that direction, I'm going with Rodgers. He's $7,600. Super expensive. Someone posted on our Patreon page. If you're not following that, follow it. It's the Russell Hand Show Patreon group. It's free. Facebook page. And they were like, they had a lineup. And every person in that line, they had Tannehill as their quarterback. I get it. But not a single other person besides Tannehill. And who, let's see. Let me bring them up. So not a single other person, Tannehill, and no one from Cincinnati. So this is my point with game theory. If you think Tannehill is going to go off, you have to match Tannehill with a wide receiver. I'm not saying he's going to go off. He could very possibly go off against Cincinnati. But if you think that, if your brain is going that route where, oh, he's going off this week, then why don't you match him with his wide receiver? And if that happens and they go off, and what I think is going to happen, and tit to tat, where Cincinnati is going to move the ball, they're going to score, then why wouldn't you take Tannehill, wide receiver, and then someone else from the other side, maybe Green? Green's getting 15 plus the last two games. He's 4,500. He's starting to. It's Green. It's AJ Green. I know Boyd is there. I know they have a young rookie wide receiver. It's starting to look good, but you have to match it up. You have to make it make sense in your head. So you have to make it make sense. So if I only see Tannehill and I'm like, okay, you have Tannehill. Nobody else on either side. I'm going to get a cough drop. You got to wait. All right. So, yeah, if so, it doesn't make sense to me if you do that. So, I like the game, though. I like that game. That'd be a good game to play. Tannehill, Brown, AJ Green. You know, it makes sense when you do stuff like that. When you just put the quarterback in, if you're going to just put a quarterback in, it has to be someone like Jackson that runs the ball, that can get points on his own. You know, that can get rushing touchdowns and things like that. Like for me, I put Aaron Rodgers in. I got Adams. I have three people in my $20,000 lineup that won me $20,000. I had Rodgers, I had Adams, and I had Jeffries. Wait, no, I didn't. I forgot who my quarterback was, but I had Adams and I had Jeffries. It had to be Rodgers. Yeah. So I'm playing him again. I'm looking at it. Yeah, against Houston. You know, I had Jeffries in randomly. So it's weird that they're in the same game now. I love Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota. So that means that I think Justin Jeffries, listen to this, guys. I bought like 15 rookie Justin Jeffries rookie cards recently. I'm not doing it but investments because he is going to be the rookie of the year. And his own pace. I did the math. Here's a cat. Usually you get more views when you have animals, right? Is that how it works? She don't know what's going on. So Justin Jeffries has over 500 yards. His own pace for 1,400 yards. Rookie record. Randy Moss. This is different. 1,300 yards. 1,300 yards. 17 touchdowns. And so Justin, oh, that was nasty. Move out the way. So Justin Robertson is on pace for 1,400 yards. So if you're in the cards, get that rookie card, because as soon as people realize that, what are you doing? You're gonna have to get off. She doesn't know what's going on. So it's definitely going to be something that you have to look at if you're in the cards. All right. Oh, I don't what? Keep an eye on the win. Kitty. That's weird. This cat's usually super timid. You're gonna have to hold off, cat. Keep an eye on these windstorms. Yeah. That's a big deal. I haven't looked into stuff like that, but that's a huge deal. But yeah, so we have Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to be a rookie of the year. I think he's going to break the single season receiving yards for a rookie. It's 1,400 yards. He's on pace for a little over that right now. What are you doing? So he's on pace for that right now. And I think, and that's with 2 games that he scored. I think this cat is pregnant. That's 2 games with him scored only 20-something points. So, yeah, I like Justin Jefferson. I don't know if I've been calling him Justin Jeffries. I think I have. As you know, I've been following him his entire career. I'm an LSU guy, obviously. So now we have. Get your ass out my face. She is so confused. Look, so she sits down. What are you doing? She's pregnant. She's laying down on the laptop right now. I'll try to let her lay there for a second. My $4,000 laptop. What are you doing? She's like, oh, you got to get off now. You're messing up the. Okay, so let's get straight to the point here. My lineup and who I like, the guys I like. I like Aaron Rodgers this week. I really don't like Mahomes because I don't think that they're going to really have to do anything. I think they're going to run the ball like crazy. That's why I don't like Kelsey. You can, San Francisco's okay. They're good. They're an okay defense. They can be a great defense at sometimes. So Russell Wilson, he'll get his play. You got Aaron Rodgers against a bad Minnesota defense, not including they have 2 starters that's not playing. They're beat up. Their cornerbacks aren't playing. So that's my play. I love Aaron Rodgers this week, and I'm gonna pair him up with Adams, and then on the other side, Justin. I'm a big Justin Jefferson fan, so he's gonna be in my lineup. I said earlier that I liked Green. Reason I like Green, he scored 17 points, 15 points. He has a total of 24 targets in the last 2 games. Both times, almost. Move, kitty. Sometimes you just got to put him down. He hasn't hit 100 yards yet this season, which is crazy to me. Game before last, 11 targets. Last game, 13 targets. He's $4,500. I mean, I got to go with Jeffries. So, I like Kendrick Bourne. I like Graham. Rolling the dice with the defense. I like Miami, guys. They're the Rams, I think. Guys, here's Miami's total. They're $2,400. The last 6 weeks, they scored 4 points, 2 points, 12 points, 13 points, 12 points, 15 points. They played New England, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Seattle, San Francisco, and the Jets. Nobody's paying attention to their defense. They're playing the Rams. I mean, Rams are – it's not like the Rams are like a ton better than these defenses. So Miami has a solid defense. People just don't see that yet. And I am 2,400. I'm taking them this week. So basically, let's see some of the questions. Rodgers has a high wind of 30 miles an hour. See, that's not good. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this right here because that could change everything. I mean, you got 30-mile-an-hour winds and you 25. Yeah, you can't see it. My mind's – I'm going to have to check that out because that's a problem. Stuff like that matters, guys. Raining. If you know it's raining all game long, you may want to go with either defenses. That's when you go with game theory. When you play, I'll go over how I think when it comes to how I put my lineups in, and most of these pros do the exact same things if you follow them. I said earlier, quarterback, wide receiver on the same team and one on the opposite team. I like to put the quarterback as well with the tight end, whoever the tight end. I'm not doing that this week. I love Graham, but so then you also this all happened with my $20,000 win. I had the quarterback come up with the wide receiver Rodgers, Adams, Jeffries, and then I had them lined up with whoever they were playing last week. Let me see who in the world that was. Atlanta. Yeah. So I had him hooked up with Jones on the other side. He scored 40. Jeffrey scored 40. Roger scored 38 or whatever it was. I like Cook, by the way, this week too. And if the win is like Gator McCuskey's saying over here, I like Cook even more. Because they'll be dumping it down, little passes, and running the ball more. So, quarterback, wide receiver, opposite. I go with the running back. And then with that $20,000 lineup, I did exactly like you're supposed to. I had a running back, Miami. I think it was Miami. And then I had also the defense. Let me see. Of the running back. Because if you think that running back is going to do really well, I'm going to bring up that big lineup if I can. Oh, can't do it. Oh. Come on, I want to see them all. Yeah. So if you think that the running back's going to do really well, you want to get the defense of the running back that you're using. Because if you think that running back's going to control the game like Henry, then that means the defense is going to, get some points. Because the offense is going to be on the field longer than the other offense. So if you think that my running back's going to go off, he's going to get 30-something points. Well, if you think that, go with that defense of that running back. See what I'm saying? Because that offense is going to stay on the field. That means other things are happening, like turnovers and everything else, to make that happen. It's just it's game theory. And that's how you win the big tournaments. So, what do you guys got? Give me some questions. Thomas or Sanders? Is that Thomas from New Orleans? Sanders? Oh, I think they're both out. Oh, you're telling me that. Yeah. Yeah, they're both out, but I can guarantee you that the Bears defense will stop your boy. They stopping Kamara. They might not stop him on the pass, maybe some dump downs here and there, but that Bears defense, man, on the run, they're solid. They're crazy good. So just because Thomas and Sanders are out, that would put a couple of other people in play that you can look at. So stuff like that you gotta look at. Well, Ty, this isn't a Survivor reality TV channel. This is a sports channel. So I don't answer any Survivor questions on this channel. I know who you are. You asked me earlier. But it's, I'll do that on the reality TV side of these things. This is straight sports. And again, I'm going to say this again. If I get my bankroll that I've won so far in fantasy football is $22,000 so far this year. If I get to 25,000, I'm taking it and I'm heading to Vegas, and I'm gonna get a big old suite, 2 beds, and I'm gonna start inviting some of my patrons to come hang out and get some footage for my sports channel. This ain't my reality TV side. So, Gator, man, if you're available, brother. I wish they had more than just football at this point, because I like to do something every day. But while I'm there, I can roll around and have a good time and try to just talk to different people, and it gives me things to do. So let me tell y'all something. Justin Jefferson is going to be the rookie of the year, and he will break the single season rookie record for yards. If that happens, his rookie cards will quadruple in price, like Luka's did in basketball. They quadrupled in price when people thought that he may be one of the greatest of all times. Like, we don't know that. That's hard to beat that. But I'm just saying. People start buying it like crazy. Now you can $1,700 for a Luka card. Right now you can get a Justin Jefferson card for $10. I ordered tons of them. I'm gonna keep ordering them, put them in the grade packs, and I'm gonna invest. Because as soon as they start, nobody's talking about it right now. Nobody's saying, "Oh, Justin Jefferson, he may break the single season rookie record." Nobody's saying it because they're not doing the math, because there's 10 games left. I'm doing the math. He had two games at 20-something yards, 123, 126. 2 games. And He's still on pace to break the record because he had one game at 170 yards, another game at 140 yards. God, the guys, this game, Green Bay has a good corner. They're going to be on Thielen. They're not going to be on Jefferson. He's going to go off Minnesota and Green Bay. He's going to have over 100 yards again. Early MVP of this season. Let me say quarterbacks. I mean, Russell Wilson, I think he's on pace for the MVP this year. But you better watch out for Rodgers. Got to watch out for Rodgers, man. He's looking good this season. He had that bad game recently, but then he came back with that 38-point game. Yeah, you avoid quarterback running back tandems. I hear what you're saying, but when the running back is someone like Kamara, when the running back is someone like that's just super ordinary, like I wouldn't go with Tannehill and Henry, because if you go with Tannehill and Henry, you're going to lose some points because if they're on the goal line, they are definitely running the ball. If New Orleans is on the goal line, first and goal at the 1, then is Murray going to run it in? Probably not. If he does, they may stop him. More of a shot stopping Murray than it is stopping Henry. But if Kamara is on the goal line first and 1, they're passing it to him. Some kind of crazy play where they pass it to him. So that's usually the thing. But nowadays, things are changing. And like, for instance, you have Mixon. Mixon's the type of running back that can get some passes. I like Hunt this week too, by the way. Hunt against the Vegas squad, I might go to one of those games if they're open. I don't see how Vegas wouldn't open for some people because the casinos are open. So why wouldn't you let some people in the stadium? But I like Hunt a lot this week. I just couldn't fit him in my lineup. So I think that this season, this is my hot take on wins. My hot take is Cincinnati is going to beat Tennessee. That's definitely a hot take. I think they're getting it together. And if that happens, they're going to have some passes towards my boy Green. That's why I have Green in that lineup. So your brain has to work like that. Like, man, I think that this is going to happen this week. Well, if that does happen, then who does it benefit? Well, it benefits Green because he's only $4,500. So that's how you have to evaluate things. You sit back and you're like, man, I bet you Kansas City runs the hell out of the Bell because he's against the Jets. I bet you they use him for goal line. I bet you they use Bell for the goal line points. He's a bigger, faster, more talented back. I don't care what you say. Clyde's still a rookie. I bet you they use Bell for goal line points. Eagles defense. The Eagles defense. Don't anybody else. If you have the full game slate, that's who you choose. They wasn't in this slate with I got Miami's defense against the Rams, but trust me, if the Eagles defense was available for this slate, I would have them. Boston Scott, see, that's a running back and a quarterback. Why would you do that? Because just like that, he can be a catching back. I had 9 points. I said Boston Scott was going to go off in my my Facebook thing. If you guys are following that, you've seen. And then Boston Scott had 9 points in the fourth quarter with like a couple of minutes left. So I'm like, okay, This kind of running back, 20-yard pass, bam, end zone, touchdown. Those type of running backs can get you 19 just like that. If they have, if they already have 8, 9 points and you're worried about it, just like that, you got 20 points. That's what happened with Boston Scott. He ended up with the most fantasy points besides the quarterbacks for the day. So, I think we got some talent, man. I think they got some talent that people aren't talking about. I do. Claypool. He had a really bad week. Last week he had a bad week, but he had 40-something points, and he had like 19 points, and then he had 0 points. But you know who else did that? Calvin Ridley. So just because you get 0 points, Calvin Ridley, look at his. If you do fantasy, look at his stats. He had 40-something points. He had 20-something points, 19 points, 0. 40-something points. Didn't have that, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, these guys can be shut down. I think Justin Jefferson get 100-something yards this week. I think he gets at least 1 touchdown against Green Bay. They're 8th ranked against the wide receivers, which is pretty good, but they won't be on him. Your boy is going to be on Thielen. And he's one of the best rookie receivers, including over Judy in the NFL. I think he's going to be one of the best receivers of all times. So I think the Bills are going to beat New England. I think New England is on a downhill slide. I think they are in trouble. So, guys, I just wanted to come on here. I know this isn't some kind of – I'm not a professional fantasy guru, but I guarantee you if I win another $20,000, some of you guys will start listening even more. I win every year. Last week, I won $1,200. Last week, I won $1,200. I didn't talk about that because it's only $1,200. The week before that, I won $20,000. If I win that 20 again or even more, then people will be like, oh, shoot, what's going on? I wouldn't pay $3,500 for the Bills defense. No way would I do that. It's just too much. Go to another. You can get another defense cheaper that's going to I like Miami's defense. I like Philadelphia. Well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go with Philly's defense. If I'm going to pay up for a defense this week, it's going to be Philly's defense. So my lineup, I'm going to give y'all my lineup again, guys. One more time. Now, this could change because Cook could get hurt. This is also could change because if it's 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds, I'm changing it. But right now I have Rodgers, I have Bell, I have Cook, my 2 running backs. I have Adams to pair up with Rodgers. I have Green because I think that's going to be a good game, and he's only 4,500. I have Jeffries because that also pairs up. When I do these lineups, I think in my head, why? Like I tell myself, why do I like this person? I need to have a reason for liking this person. If I don't have that reason, then I have to move on to someone else. So I'm telling you every reason that I have. Jefferson, because I have Rodgers and Adams. I think it's going to be a great shootout game. I think Jeffrey's going to be on the other end making some points. Graham, they're against New Orleans. New Orleans is terrible against tight ends, and they also can stop the run. I think they stop him Montgomery. He's not getting his 16 points, and they're going to dump it down because, again, they suck. Boring. Everybody's hurt. Wide receivers are hurt. Running backs hurt. It's San Francisco against Seattle. Kendrick Bourne. He's the number 2 wide receiver. We're only calling him the number 2 because I have a number 1 that's a rookie. We only saying he's number 1 because of how well he did last week I think Bourne's the number one. He's going to stay in the game 95% of the time. They're going to have to pass the ball constantly. They have Kittle. That's a good one that you could play, Kittle, because you can play him. But I love Bourne because they're going to have to move the ball. They're not going to be able to run it. They do have Hesty, and he's a rookie. I mean, we're downgrading the running backs over and over and over and over and over. Sooner or later, someone's going to be able to stop their running backs, and Wilson's out. So I like Bourne. I mean, he's one of my favorites. And then I have the Dolphins. Dolphins defense. Don't make fun of Dolphins defense. Last two games, they scored 12 points and 15 points against San Francisco. One of them, 12 points. They scored 12 points against Jacksonville. They scored 4 points against 4, 2, 12, 3, 12, and 15. So, in other words, they have a good line. They can get some sacks. And, they're cheaper. So that's my lineup. I gave you my exact lineup because I have a $400 entry in that lineup. I don't think any of you guys at this point is going to enter into the same lineup as me. If you do see a $400 entry, 277 people, that's my lineup. Don't enter into it. It is called the 100,000K high step because we don't want the same lineup. If we did hit, we'd have to split it. So go to another entry because I would be pissed. You would be pissed. You don't want to split that money with anybody. You want to win it all. So that's the contest I'm playing, Lee. It's the $400 entry fee, 277 people, 100K, but it would just be dumb to get in that same lineup because if we hit it, then, we split the money. So nobody wants that. So go to another lineup. And let's see. That lineup probably won't fill till tomorrow sometime. Oh, I didn't know anybody else started a stream today. All right, guys, that's all I got. We'll see what happens. Last time I won 20,000, I posted the lineup publicly on my page, the exact lineup. I'll keep doing that kind of stuff. If something like this lineup would hit, then it makes it even more legitimate because I talked about it publicly with you guys, and I'm going to post it. But it may change because I'm going to keep watching the weather. That's a big deal. I'm glad Gator let me know of that because if it's 25-mile-an-hour winds, then they're going to run more or pass down more, not deep. So I have to keep an eye on that. Other than that, $25,000. So far, I'm up trying to move it from the sun. So far, I'm up $22,000. When I get to $25,000 profit, I am heading to Vegas. And I'm going to do some Patreon stuff where people could come stay and hang out, go out to eat, go hang out, do some videos, that kind of thing. Just having fun. That's all. I like the slate, Lee, but I don't like the slate if it's 25-mile-an-hour consistent winds. I mean, it's that's a big deal, a huge deal. I have to watch Cook. He's questionable. I think he's going to play. If it is 25-mile-an-hour winds, I'm playing Cook for sure. I mean, I'll probably change everything, though. Quarterbacks, I'll take Jefferson out. I'll take Adams out. I'll take Rodgers out, which sucks because then I'll be confused what the hell I was supposed to do. I look at these lineups over and over and over, guys. When I won the 20 grand, I won more than that. I won $2,500. I won $8,000 one time, 25 several times. And I look at the lineup. I look at it. I look, and I pay attention. And I'm looking at everything. It would really be dumb of me to play Rodgers in a game where the wind is blowing 2,500. I mean, 25, blowing 25 mile an hour because it's not a good move, especially when I'm risking $400. I'd rather play someone else and just cash because I think this could be a winning lineup. Yep. I don't know Dylan Tyler, and I don't know their page. I didn't even know they had that. All right, guys, that's all I got. So, till next time, we'll see what happens with this lineup. That's all I got for you now. Keep hope alive. Hopefully, we win